Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. I am Barbara. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. And if you're one of my faithful followers, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So today, y'all, it's get it done day as much as possible. It's about 9:30 in the morning. It's already kind of hot. You know how you plan to be out here really, really early and it just doesn't happen? That's what happened this morning. But that's okay. We're going to work with what we have. So there's plenty of stuff to do today. I've been gone for like the last 3 days or so. The last video I did, I was showing you guys how we were starting to pull things out of the ground in the in the outside garden to get ready for fall. So I want to kind of catch you up. We did, yikes. I got to put on some insect spray. That was like a huge butterfly. I lost my train of thought. Oh, we pulled out some stuff in the outside garden. We're going to pull more stuff out of the inside tunnel. Well, let me say hubby did that while I was gone. So I want to kind of show you what it's looking like. And I'm thinking I'll give a quick garden tour. It's the last week of August. We're going into September this week. So I feel like the garden is in, I shouldn't say disarray. That's a strong word. It's in transition, right? So it doesn't look great and lush because the summer is on the decline. And we hope fall it's on its way, but a lot of stuff has been pulled out. So I'll just take you around and kind of show you what's been done, and what the plans are going forward. And then hopefully in the September garden tour video, it'll look probably completely different. But I hope that your plans, if you guys are planting a fall garden, I hope that it's going well in terms of your plans, that you're making moves to pull your old stuff out, put new stuff in. If you're not planting a fall garden, why? Maybe you're not in a zone that you can do that. But if you're going to take a break, you know, everybody deserves a break, so that's fine. But start thinking about, and I'm going to do a video maybe this week doing a recap of my summer garden. And so in that video, I'm going to tell you kind of my process and what I've done this summer in terms of recapping. And I'm going to encourage you to do the same. So if you're not planting a fall garden, start even thinking about what went well this summer, what didn't go well, what do you want to do different? You want to do that while it's fresh on your mind. But that's a whole nother video. So let's get into today. So the first thing I'm going to show you is in the high tunnel. Hubby pulled out all of the tomatoes on the left-hand side of the tunnel. And so when I came back from out of town, which I asked him to do, but when I came back from out of town and I walked in my high tunnel, I was like, what just happened? Not remembering that's what I asked him to do, and just not even contemplating what that was going to look like. Because, you know, tomato plants get really tall and big. And so it kind of gives, it takes up a lot of space. So when you pull them out, you have a lot of bare space. So more to fill up. So let me take you around and show you what's going on. Okay, let's start by the seed starting table. You can see these are my collards and my cabbage. They're looking pretty good. But y'all, look at my Brussels sprouts. The insects have gotten them. Look at that. I should have taken them inside, is what I should have done. And I didn't. I have a few that I think are salvageable. I'm sorry, the camera's shaking because I got something on my, look at that, get off of my, I can see the insects. I've sprayed neem oil, so I see some of the insects have died on the plant. I need to spray some more, and I'm gonna take them inside today and try to salvage what I can. But y'all, look. Oh, let me see. Look, y'all, I have limes coming. Woo! Yes, I have limes coming. Those were not that big when I left. They're actually forming. And look at my lemon tree. All of these buds, I'm assuming are gonna be lemons. They're full, y'all. Look at that. And then here is the seed starts for the broccoli and the spinach. It's hanging on in there. I'm gonna bring that inside too. I'm just not ready to plant it out yet because it's still hot. It's still very, very, very hot. Well, let me say this. It's been hot the last 4 or 5 days. Like the high is like 90 something today. It's already 96 in the greenhouse and it's 9:30 degrees. 9:30 degrees. 9:30 a.m. 9:30 a.m. And it was in the low 80s for like a week ago. That whole week was like in the low 80s. So again, you get tricked and thinking, okay, fall is coming. It's coming. It's coming. But for the last 3 or 4 days here, it's been in the 90s. It's going to be 90s for the next couple of days. And then when I looked at the 10-day forecast this morning, it starts to drop back off into the 80s. And so I know the insects are getting my stuff. One, probably because it's still hot outside and they haven't died off, which they need to do. So I'm going to bring my Brussels sprouts inside and salvage what I can. So I'm not going to put them out in the ground yet. And I'm going to start some more Brussels sprouts seeds. I ordered some more last night, so I'm going to start some more as well. I think I'll put my cabbage and collards out. What to do? Anyway, let me keep showing you around. Do y'all see that massive butterfly? I was trying to show you my squash. Look at my squash coming in. Let me see if I can I got a big one in here. See if I can show you. Oh, there's an insect. Look at that. But look at this squash. That looks good. Okay, I gotta get that. So I wanted to show you my squash. This bed is overall doing well. Let me show you another squash. So the first one I just showed you was the Waltham butternut. This right here is a honey nut. It's a honey nut. So overall, you can see that bed is doing well. This is the bed with the green beans. The green beans are actually coming in now, kind of full force. So that's good. I'm going to harvest those today. And y'all, the sweet potato bed, you can't even see where it begins and ends. So here is the squash. But as I keep panning over, the sweet potatoes are all here. That's the aisleway. Then this is the bed, and they're all over here. I don't have a lot of flowers. I don't have a lot of flowers at all. So I was reading. So last year, I feel like I took my sweet potatoes out too soon. They weren't as big, and so I wanted to leave them in longer. And this variety is Beauregard and Georgia Jet. More Beauregard than Georgia Jet, because remember my first slips didn't do well at all. So there's a few that, you know, held on. But most of them are Beauregards that I actually end up having to buy. So it's at 85 to 100 days. So I'm leaning towards more of the 100 days, which the 100 days will be not this week, but next week. And it was saying to stop watering the sweet potatoes once they start flowering or once the leaves start to die back. Well, as you can see, the leaves are not dying back. And I don't have a lot of flowers. So if you are a sweet potato expert, let me know. Like I said, right now, I'm probably at 85 days, somewhere along in there, 80 to 85 days. So should I still be watering? Because I don't see any dieback and I don't see any flowering. I'm going to still water because I figure I can always stop, you know, a week or two before I plan to harvest. But just let me know, you sweet potato experts, and yeah, let me know. Last time I pulled them in August, and so I think that was too soon. So I'm waiting till September. I was going to wait a couple of more weeks. But it's green as ever and growing again. So as I was saying, I don't have a lot of flowers on my sweet potatoes. And they're not dying back. They're green, they're lush. They're acting like we're going to be here for a while. So I'm not sure. I'm going to give it a couple more weeks anyway, just to get to the 100-day mark. And maybe in the next couple of weeks, it'll start to die back, get flowers. I went ahead and watered it today. I'm watering it like once a week now. So I just don't know when to stop watering. The instructions, when I looked it up on Google, it said to stop watering maybe a week. I think a week or two before you think you're going to harvest, and once the leaves die back and the flowers start doing its thing. I don't have any of that. So if you're a sweet potato expert, leave me some help. So let me show you the rest of the high tunnel. Y'all, I'm a little sad because this is like really the last summer garden tour for 2022, because next month it better be fall. Like, it'll be September and it'll say fall on the calendar, but I hope the temperatures say fall. So let me show you the rest. And this is the part that looks desolate. Let me show you. First, let me show you these two beds on the left. So this bed is ready to plant. I've amended this bed. I've added new soil, fertilizer, the whole 9 yards. So it is ready to plant. This bed over here is also ready to plant. I have 2 tomato plants in the back, but everything else has been pulled up. Remember, this was the bed I had a lot of zinnias in here, and I had some bell peppers. They didn't do the greatest. And again, I think I'm still having a soil issue in this particular raised bed, but this is almost ready to plant. I got to add some more soil because to me it's still a little low. So I got to add some more soil and some more amendments, and then it'll be ready to go. But let me show you this. Y'all, look. Tomato row is gone. There's a little marigold hanging on in the middle. There's one tomato plant down there that he didn't get. He said he felt sorry for it, but it's about to go. Tomato row is gone. You can see that the peas, I think, are on their last leg. I'm thinking I may go ahead and pull these this week as well. Let me see if I can show you a close-up. We've had a good run, so I can't complain, but all the tomatoes are gone. So, of course, just like I did last fall, this is going to be collards, kale, all of the good stuff will be going in these rows. Here is the other row of the peas. And let me walk you down here, because remember, on the last part of these peas, of this pea row, I had cucumbers that I tried again in the high tunnel. All of those are gone. He ripped all of that out. Gone, gone, gone. But let me turn to this side. This side is way more lush. It's not perfect, but it definitely looks better than that. But remember, this is the beauty of succession planting. These are the tomatoes that I did later on in the season and did a second planting. So I can tell that I already have some hornworm damage over here on some of these. You can see up near the top, but I still have tomatoes. Plenty of them. Those are the sun gold. I still have tomatoes there. So we'll see how long they last. I'm gonna keep these in for a while. These are all like jalapeno peppers, bell peppers. They're doing good. So you can see that this row looks very different than this over here, but that's okay. That is okay. So one of the things with my bell peppers, I've been going ahead and harvesting those green. I shouldn't say I don't like green peppers. I prefer red, yellow, or orange bell peppers. They're sweeter, they're prettier. Green bell peppers are just kind of, I use them for chili, potato salad, things like that. But I don't ever really buy green bell peppers in the store, nor do I grow any. I grow red, yellow, and orange. My yellow ones was kind of, but my orange and red did really well. And I'm proud because a lot of those were the seeds that I saved from last year. But I've gone ahead and started harvesting them as green, and I'm just gonna plan to dice them up and put them in the freezer, and I'll have it for like chili and different stuff like that. I mean, I use them, but I prefer the other ones, just because I don't think that I'm gonna have time for it to turn red or orange or whatever color it is. Same thing happened to me last season. I had a whole bunch. I had peppers in the high tunnel last year. I went back and looked at my pictures. Like November the 3rd, I harvested my last peppers. Oh, I had like a basket full of peppers. They were all green. And so, like I said, it's hot, but the temperature is changing. So for the rest of the week, after I think a couple of days, it's going to be like 80 to 83. So I don't think they'll turn red. So I've just been harvesting them as green, just so that I can have pretty peppers and they don't get succumb to insect damage and I lose them. So that's what I've been doing about that. So that's pretty much the garden tour in the high tunnel. Let me take you outside real quick, and I'm going to show you the outside garden and show you the progress we made after the last time we were together and we start pulling out the corn. Here, look at my babies. Look at my babies. The dogs, of course, wherever I am, that is where they're going to be. Every time I come down to the garden, they just come and they lay outside the hot tunnel and outside the garden. That's what they do. Okay. Here is the okra. This okra, I showed y'all the last time. It's at least 7 feet tall. Yeah, it's taller than my husband. My husband's 6'6". So it's tall. But if you see, we've tried to cut down all the old okra that was overgrown. But you can see we still have some new okra coming up at the top. I can't reach it, but we're still getting some okra. Now, I hope it tastes good. I harvested some yesterday, and I got a quart size bag of it. But as you walk down here, you can see where the squash, corn, sunflowers, all of that is empty. All of that is empty. So the okra will probably be the next thing to go. You can see the purple hull peas. They're definitely getting dry on the vine. I can't keep up picking them, but they're still producing. I got new ones, as you can see there. And I have those that are old, but they're all still good. They're still producing, so I'm gonna let them go because I'm putting them all in the freezer. If you go to your local farmer's market and get shelled peas, they come in like this little quart-sized bag, and they're anywhere from $10 to $15. That's why I'm going to keep growing, because I love purple hull peas. And these taste so good. It's something, you all know, growing your own food, it just has a superior taste. And these taste so fresh. So I'm just picking as many as I can, and I'm putting them in the freezer so that hopefully I'll have enough to last me until next summer. So as long as they're producing, they're gonna sit right here. Nobody's gonna take their spot. Let me show you the very last couple of rows. Okay, hubby's weed eating, so I'm not gonna be able to compete with all that noise. But you can see everything is still there. We have not taken anything out. The peppers are still producing, so we're gonna let them be. The tomatoes, they are still producing. I'm still getting tomatoes, which is odd because I would have think that the ones in the tunnel would have fared longer than the ones outside. Now, it's not perfect, but, and again, because I showed you the hornworm damage, but I'm still getting tomatoes. But in all honesty, the okra and tomato row will be the next thing to go out here for sure. So as I walk down this way, let me get there. So when I walk down this way, you can really see the space that I have that I can even start planting right now. Even though the rest of the garden is still kind of doing its thing, I still have all this space. These first 3 rows on the back side of the garden, I can start planting. So I got to amend these holes and start putting stuff down here. Cabbage, collards, all the fall stuff. I'll take you guys on the video when I get ready to do it, hopefully. As I go closer in, this part of the tomatoes on this end are the ones that's not doing as great. The ones on the end up here, you can see the difference. Just when I pan, you see how green and lush that is versus this. I don't know why. Same dirt, same soil. Maybe it's the water, maybe it's the way the sun hits. I don't know, but that's a distinct difference from there to there. So again, okra will probably come out, and then these will be the next thing to come out. And so once we pull these out right here, I'll have this whole back space to start in the fall garden. Not too bad. So friends, that is the last week of August, last summer garden tour. I'm declaring it because a month from now, in September, we really should be in fall. We should be. And hopefully and prayerfully, things will look different out here. I imagine definitely by that time out here, the okra and at least this last row of tomatoes will be gone by the end of September. And then I should have my little fall stuff coming up and all of that. I'm a little nervous about putting it out, but I'm going to put it out because it's time. It's time. I'm just praying that and I'm nervous, not from a time or temperature perspective. I'm more nervous about insects. But there's nothing to it but to do it. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go start some more seeds. That's what I'm about to do now. See, I already got my tray ready. I'm doing the big tray. This is the 144 cell tray. You see, I already have my seed starting mix in there. I've already wet it down, and I'm gonna go ahead and plant a ton more seeds. But my video, I think, is getting long, so I'm not gonna even go through that part with you guys. I'll keep you posted on the next video and let you know what I planted, and of course, you'll see how it's doing. These are all the fall seedlings that are doing well. That's getting ready to go out in some of these beds. The nighttime is catching me, so that'll probably be tomorrow's task. Once again, these are my Brussels sprouts. These are the ones, I just threw a ton of them away that was completely eaten up by insects. I was able to salvage 7 that still have some good leaves on there. I'm going to take them in the house tonight, baby them, and see what happens. The worst that can happen is that they die, and they were already dying or being eaten by insects. So remember that. Sometimes we feel like we have to be so perfect in our garden, and we want things to go perfectly. And there's nothing wrong with that wish. I want the same thing. But it's not my reality. And it's probably not your reality. Take risk. Try. A lot of times, the worst thing is that you're going to lose seeds or lose plants. But think about if you never plant it. You don't have it anyway. Friends, thank you so much for joining me on this episode and seeing the last of the summer garden. We've had a great ride this summer. I'm so thankful. I'm grateful. I just really am. It's my first time with the garden outside. I will do a garden recap, a summer recap, to let you know kind of from my own thoughts what I feel like went well, what didn't go well, what I need to do different, and share that with you in case that it helps you. I hope that you guys are enjoying your gardens. If you're transitioning to fall, I pray that all of that goes well. If you're going to take a break this fall, I understand. But whatever you do, just remember, it's a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time.